Working people across the province are concerned about the safety and security of our families and our children in the future.
You don't touch the equipment, Joel.
Then please leave.
No.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
No. I don't touch your equipment, Joel. Don't touch mine.
I'm asking you to leave.
No.
To the frontline response.
This is not a
We have partnered with
public
the Urban
There are lots of public here.
Race Relations,
The public. It's a private event, and we're inviting
families of the victims, and the
You don't touch the equipment, Joel.
Please leave.
I don't touch your equipment. You don't touch mine.
I will make a family.
I will make a scene, Joel. You know I will.
But I will say that the OFL stands strongly in support of the Ombudsman's announcement that his office will be conducting an extensive probe into police guidelines all across the province. This is precisely what the OFL and others have been calling for, and we expect the police departments in every city to fully cooperate with that investigation. However, we think the investigation must go further. The Ombudsman has made it clear that he will be looking at everything except the 18th case. While we would not want the Ombudsman to interfere with the SIU investigation, we believe that there must be more that must be investigated. We are concerned about the deeply entrenched shortcomings of the SIU. For example, the SIU is essentially only looking at one officer and one aspect of this tragedy, the fatal discharge of his firearm. But there are many other questions about why this incident resulted in a tragedy. For example, who was in charge of the scene? Why didn't the officers try to de-escalate the situation before responding with deadly force? Why was a mobile crisis unit not called in? Why didn't the emergency task force take control of the scene? After all, aren't they the most qualified? Why is only one officer being investigated when a second officer tasered the victim after he was shot? All these questions allude to a systemic problem with the overall police response. The family and the public deserves a response. We are demanding an independent investigation into police training, policies, and practices from the highest levels of decision-making right down to the frontline response. It is not enough to have Toronto Police Chief Bill Blair announce a review of local policies, because the reality is there are over 52 police chiefs in 52 police departments in Ontario. And each one of them has their own policies and practices, but the tragedies are identical. It is time for the Government of Ontario to take the responsibility and institute a province-wide overhaul on police training, policy, and practice to change the culture of police and save the lives through de-escalation rather than deadly force. This isn't a case of one bad apple or even one bad barrel. This is about the whole approach to policing that is failing the very people it is intended to protect. Every force must have a uniform response, and it's up to the Attorney General to ensure that it shouldn't matter where you live if it will determine whether you end up in a psychiatric office or a body bag. Thank you. Now I'm going to turn it over to Karen Greenwood-Graham, and she's a family of Trevor Graham.